this is Esplin227. I want to weigh in on this whole atheist, theist, agnostic thing, because both sides are being kind of retarded. Everyone in this argument seems to be getting so close to the obvious truth, and then it's like, I don't know what the fucking agnostic is. I'm not even going to deal with that. That has nothing to do with what I'm about to say. Or maybe that is the definition of what I'm about to say. In a sense, Bionic Dance is right. But here's the problem. If I ask you, alright, if someone asks you, do you believe in God? They're asking you two questions. One, do you believe that it is knowable that God can exist? Or that it is knowable whether God exists or not? And two, are you convinced by the claims and or evidence that any particular theist group has presented to you, or your own philosophical inner contemplation, that a God exists? Okay. I'm going to use a really nerdy reference here. Have you guys ever heard of the sort of scale of evil, your character chart in something like D&D? You know, there's lawful good, chaotic good, neutral good. In the middle of that, there's lawful neutral, chaotic neutral, and neutral neutral. They just call that neutral. Why did I bring that up? When someone asks you that question, do you know, do you think it's knowable about whether God exists or not? You can say agnostic. Now, as for, do you believe in God? There is, I'm not going to say there's a middle point, but you can say, I don't know. That is to say, you're agnostic about your feelings. You're not, you're unsure. Like, let's say you're standing in front of two doors. They both lead to a very different life. You're basic, and you stand there, and you cannot make up your mind. That is to say, you're in a temporary place of indecision. You can then say, I'm not sure, as in, I am agnostic to my own feelings on the subject. I actually don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I haven't made my decision yet. You might say, well, then you don't believe yet. Well, it's not that simple, because you might actually believe. It's just you're still working out the details in your head. With something like this, it can actually last a very long time, only because it's not urgent. It's not an urgent physical need, like choosing two doors you're standing in front of. It can span your entire lifetime. Now, does it change the binary atheist-theist thing? No, it doesn't. You're either one or the other. But we can allow for the possibility of you not knowing which you are. That's what I think people are trying to say, and they can't articulate it correctly. Which is pathetic, because I can't articulate shit. And yet, the beginning of this conversation, I thought there would maybe be 3 videos before someone said it. I'm like, these people have made insanely complicated videos, you know. Surely I don't need to chime in. Clearly I did. Is it really that complicated? Now, Bionic Dance wasn't wrong. She was a little bit myopic, though. Like, she's just like, atheist, theist, atheist, theist. Well, that's technically right. But the other people, though they were explaining it completely wrong, just philosophically all over the place, they didn't know what the hell they were talking about. I think what they were trying to say is what I just said. Just take the two sides, and no, I'm not committing, I don't know what it's called, the compromise fallacy. that says that, it's always better to go in the middle, but in actuality, one person's right and one person's wrong. I'm not committing that fallacy. I'm telling you all that you're wrong. You're not. You're being myopic about this. It's not. It really is both. Bionic Dance is right. You're either an atheist or you're a theist. But she's not allowing for the possibility that you're not sure what you are yet. That is, you haven't introspectively sifted through your thoughts enough to know. No, we're not saying you've never heard of God, because then you're an atheist. You've heard of God, you're in the debate, or you're not in debate. You have a cultural reason why you would have heard of God, but you're not sure whether you believe. You can even be a Gnostic agnostic. Yeah, you can believe that it is absolutely possible to know for sure whether there is a God or not. But you can believe that you still aren't sure what your feelings are about it. You're not sure where you stand on the issue. You're agnostic towards yourself. You're not sure what you believe. Now, that doesn't mean you're not either an atheist or a theist. You are one of those. But when you're replying that you're agnostic about your beliefs, what you're saying is you're not sure what you believe. In that sense, if someone asks you what you believe, you can say, I'm agnostic to the answer to that. I don't know what I believe yet. I'm still figuring it out. That is what it means when someone says they're agnostic. What they're saying is they're an agnostic, or to put it in nerd term, they're a true agnostic. Agnostic. I don't know what the fucking agnostic is. I think that's some shit people made up. Let me look that up right quick. Okay, I also just looked up agnostic, and oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You people are ridiculous. You know why? Philosophers haven't even figured out whether agnostic is a variation of agnostic or atheist yet. So how the hell do you think you know? The people. Agnosticism could be a type of agnosticism. That's how I see it. You may see it differently. But again, that is a statement on the knowability of whether God exists. You're saying, I need a definition before that is a statement you have to make before you answer the agnostic-gnostic part. For instance, well, that's beside the point. Agnosticism in this case is irrelevant, because that's not what we're talking about. That's a separate issue. You people got into that for some reason. I don't know why you got into the agnostic thing. It's simple. You can be an agnostic, a true agnostic. That is, when someone asks you whether you believe in God, you say, I'm not sure. That doesn't mean you're saying you're not sure whether God exists. It means you're saying you're not sure what you believe. I don't want to say the word confused because it sounds condescending, but you're still sorting it out. You do fall within one of those two categories, but you're not sure how you feel about it. That's not the same as agnosticism and Gnosticism, because those are talking about the knowability of whether you can ever know God exists. I am a TAP, a temporary agnostic in practice. Until someone shows me evidence, I'm agnostic to the possibility of God, but I know for a fact that I do not believe in God in any way, under any circumstances. I find none of the evidence compelling, and I find people's belief in specific deities perplexing. But that's all I'm going to talk about for now. Until my next video, try to make the world a better place, and I will too.